Hey, Big V here, it's Verl Workman, and we're talking teams. And we're not just talking teams today, we're talking well-coached teams. People ask all the time, is coaching really worth it? And my answer is, I don't know. It depends on you. You see, you can have the greatest coach in the world, but if you don't do the work, how good is the coaching? It's not as much about the coach as it is about you and your decision to do the work. Coaching is not hard. It's not that there's a bunch of crazy, unique concepts. It's a great coach has the ability to look at your game from a different perspective, see when you're not on track, and help you make course corrections. A great coach listens to what your real problem is versus what you're saying your real problem is, and gives you true solutions. A great coach doesn't buy into your bullcrap. They actually share with you the promises you made and hold you to those commitments. A great coach allows you to live in integrity in your business life as well as your personal life. Is a coach really worth it? My answer is, I don't know. I mean, I own a coaching company, so I think it is. And here's what I've learned with clients that we've coached over the years. I meet people all the time at conferences. I'll speak to a large group and they'll come up and talk to me. They'll say, "Bro, that was awesome and thank you for your message." And I'll say, "You're very, very welcome. What resonated with you?" And they'll tell me something that resonated with them. And then I'll ask them the question. So now what are you going to do with it? And there's always this blank stare. Well, I don't know. I think I'll do it. It's funny, a year later when I come up and meet with them and I see them at a next conference or I'm at their next annual convention and they'll say, "Hey, Verl, you remember me? I met you a year ago." I'll say, "Yeah, what was your one thing?" And they'll tell me what it was. I say, "What have you done?" And I would say 9 times out of 10, the answer is, "Well, I haven't done anything." And then they begin to rattle off the excuses. You see, what coaching does for people is it allows them to eliminate all of their excuses for failure by working through those excuses. And also, a great coach will help you kind of figure out what your real why is. I love meeting people for the very first time that say, "Verl, I really want you to coach me," or "I really want to be one of your coaching clients." And I'll give them an answer. I'll say something like, "Great, why do you want to be coached?" They'll say, "Oh, I want to make $250,000, or I want to go to $1 million, I want to make $750,000, whatever that is to you." And then I ask the next question, why? Why is that important to you? "Well, I just know I can. I believe that other people that aren't as good as me are making more, and I know I can make that much." And then I ask them again, why? And they look at me kind of puzzled, like, "I just answered that question, you ding dong. Why don't you just listen to me?" And I say, "No, what is the real reason? How does your life change when you make $500,000? What does that do for your family? What does that do for your retirement? What does that do for your confidence?" I've heard everything from, I fight all the time with my spouse because we don't have enough money and it puts a strain on our relationship. I hear things like, my husband is the diving coach at a university in 118-degree weather and I want to make enough money so he can choose to stop working there. I hear things like, I want to make $250,000. And I said, "Why?" And this sweet lady said to me, "Because that was our income before the divorce. And I'm tired of telling my kids, no, we can't do that because we don't have the money we used to have." So that core motivating value is invaluable to a coach, because if I know what drives you, if I know what you really, really care deeply about, it's much easier for me to hold that up and remind you why you're doing the hard things. A great coach takes the time to understand what really drives you. And once we get what that is, then we can step by step by step methodically help you build the business of your dreams. Is coaching worth it? It depends on your coach. If you get the right coach, it's totally worth it. Can I share with you just an example of just a few of the people that have become and had predictable greatness as a result of being coached by Workman Success Systems? One of the first clients that I coached personally, I met in 2012. As they come into coaching, we have them fill out an intake form. And on her intake form, we asked her, "Okay, so how much have you made?" And she says, "Around 250. What was your worst year?" "Around 25,000. And what's your net profit?" She says, "Well, around 250. I thought that was kind of funny because the gross was the same as the net. And we all know that's not possible, but she didn't have any systems. I said, "What are the things you focus on?" And she gave me a list of 5 things, only 2 of which were dollar productive activities. And then I got to the important questions. What is your big hairy goal? Where would you like to go? What's your next level? She said, "I just want to make $500,000. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "I never want to rely on a man again to take care of my sons." You see, as a single mom, Christy Buck knew that she wanted to be present in the lives of her boys. And she wanted to never, ever, ever have to put them in a situation where she had to make hard choices on their behalf. When Christy told me what her real why was, I said, "Okay, let's rock." And we rolled up our sleeves and we went to work. It was so fun to watch Christy as she started to follow the activities. You see, what made Christy different as a client is that the first year she did daily success habits. She worked on the activities that would make a difference in her life. She added the top 50 and she started hiring buyer's agents. With Christy and Samantha as her right hand, they started to build a team. We watched them go from $250,000 income to $575,000 to $1.1 million to $1.9 million to $1.7 million, because we had some hurricanes in Houston, and then right back to 2.1, then 3.4. It's been really interesting to watch the growth of this individual single mom as she's gone from being a real estate agent to the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. If you ask her what made the biggest difference for her, she'll say it was coaching. As her coach, I'll tell you, it was because she did the work. It was fun when you talked to Cindy Silva. Cindy Silva's income almost tripled, but as her income went up, the amount of time she spent with her family also went up. So by doing more with the right systems and a team, she was able to spend more time with her family. I met Nick Paints at a RE/MAX convention almost 2 years ago, and Nick came to the conference and he was so excited and fired up, he signed up for coaching. At the same time, there were probably another 100 agents that didn't sign up for coaching that we had real good conversations with. A year later, Nick doubled his income and he changed the way he worked his business. When you talk to Nick right now, he's running an investment company. He's helping his buyer's agents invest in real estate. He's focused on multifamily and bigger deals. And it's so fun to see the energy that he has in changing people's lives. I'm blown away when I watch your income increase and I watch your free time increase as a dad. Brooke Sines went from being Rookie of the Year, selling 20, 30 houses her first year, to being a 7-figure income earner and getting her life back, duplicating her business in not only Michigan, but also North Carolina, and then again in Florida. With Brooke, she'll tell you that greatness is predictable. By following the system she learned in her first market, she was able to open in her second, and then again in her third. There's no doubt in my mind if she wants to open up around the country, she can, and she can have a 7-figure team in every single market. I love Brooke because Brooke focuses on her family, and when she says no to something, even though it has a dollar tag associated with it, it's because it's not the right thing for her family. I love that she celebrates birthdays and anniversaries, and those are the priorities in her life. And she's able to say no to real estate transactions because she's never lost a deal because she's done the right thing with her family. Michelle Terry in New England went from $350,000 a year as a broker owner to over $1 million by building her team within her brokerage. I remember the team calling me up one day and saying, "We got to pitch you on an idea." And I said, "What's the idea?" And they said, "Well, we saw how Christy Buck has Kias that all her buyer's agents drive. We love the idea of having wrapped Kias that have our advertising and marketing on, but we want Jeeps. What do we have to do to get Jeeps?" And I love Michelle Terry as she lit up with pride as her buyer's agents were pitching their coach on whether or not we could get Jeeps. And it was real simple. We just had to change the way they asked the question. We simply said, what is it we have to do from a production perspective to create a scenario where the company will provide us Jeeps? And then they set their goals and they started to accomplish it. I love working with teams. I love working with individuals who want to help other people. We are stocked to the teeth with coaches that have been clients that have learned how to do it and they do it well. Is coaching really worth it? It depends if you're really willing to do the work. One of the greatest compliments you could ever receive is having your coach nominate you to become a Workman Success Coach, because that means that you've adopted the systems, you've created the technology, you've followed the system, and greatness for you is now predictable and you want to help other people. Our coaches don't coach because they need the money. Most of them make more money in real estate than they'll ever make coaching. They do it because we've changed their lives, because we've made a difference in their lives. We've made a difference in their families. We've created a whole new opportunity for them to be able to create real wealth. And because we've done it and we've done it consistently, they now want to share their gift with you. So is coaching worth it? All I can say is it certainly has been for me. It's certainly been for many of these people. If you want to learn more about Workman Success Coaching, just click on the link down in the description. You can set up a business consultation. We'll talk to you about coaching. But more importantly, we can just have a conversation and let's understand what drives you and why it's important. And then we can see if we're a good fit. If we're not a fit, that's okay. We'll tell you that. And if you don't think we're a fit, you can tell us that as well. All we want to do is make a difference in your business and make a difference in your life. If coaching is something you're interested in, Workman Success has a system that is predictable. If you want to build a team, there's no one on the planet that does it better. I hope that you'll take a minute and have a consultation and let us be a guide in your journey to a 7-figure business and a successful life.